each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Sup, man? Sup, woman? Hello. I'm not matching. Yes, I have to put the maid. For those of you that can't see the camera, I have a tie and I made it into a sling. So, and I had to put my finger brace back on. They said that I'm stretching it. I'm doing my exercises too much, but I can't help it because it feels like it needs to be stretched. So I start doing it. I'm not thinking about it. So I put the brace on and we'll put my hand here to remind me not to use it, even though I'm going to anyway. Yep. So we're going to talk about wants and needs. Not wants versus needs. Wants and needs, because both of these are valid. Again, it's just how I utilize them. Have you figured out that secret yet? It isn't what it is, it's what you're doing with it that matters. Right? If you listened earlier, I told you about a cousin last night who said that I was trying to do something that I wasn't doing. It was a drunken boogeyman situation, right? And I had every right to be angry, to cut this person out, and sure I do. But instead, and I did block them last night for my own peace of mind because I had to think about it for a minute. But I ended up leaving them a message. I think they have me blocked also, so they may not get the message. And the message was, hey, I don't know if you remember having a conversation with me last night, and you accused me of doing something that I'm not doing. I don't know if you remember or not. Okay, now I'm not mad with you because I understand what it is that you are going through. Okay, and you need to do something to get rid of this drinking problem, because it is clear that you have a drinking problem. You might not be an alcoholic. I don't know. So I'm going to leave you unblocked. And if you want help, that is the only reason you are to reach out to me. If you want help, reach out to me. On the other hand, if you go after my reputation, I will put a cease and desist on you. So those are the options. Okay. Because I'm willing to help, but I also have healthy boundaries. And we have to have healthy boundaries. All right. Not necessarily strong boundaries. I found that strong boundaries tend to keep some things out. Like if I would have used strong boundaries with this one, I would have just cut them off. And I'm going to tell you, as a Virgo, I am practiced in the art of cutting you off and never speaking to you again. I'm very practiced at it. Okay. And it's not hard for me to do. I'll move on. All right. Not always. A couple of people right now I could think of in my life are no way. Like Amber, I wouldn't do that to you. Just so you know. I won't up and disappear on you again. Will never happen again. So, quick announcement. This is the difference between the needs and the wants. I'm going to start asking for donations soon. You're not required to put in a donation. I'm not going to keep track of donations. But at the same time, if I am going to follow the traditions, then the Daily Trudge needs to be self supporting. Okay. The Daily Trudge and Trudging Together needs to start paying for itself. All right. Now, keep in mind, I'll make that you'll still get all your free stuff. Don't get so okay. All right. Just let you know, I'm probably going to start asking for donations soon. I want to talk with my friend Mark tomorrow. We have some things going on. I'm what he's going to help me do. What he's helping me do. I can't get all the way into it, but I'm going to be a professor in a university around, and it's my area is going to be recovery. It is not an accredited school. This is to help people out, and he's going to show me how to monetize what it is that I do. He's really good at that. I don't understand that part, and there are parts that I understand that he doesn't quite get. So where he uses it, and this guy knows what he's doing. He's a marketing genius. He is very, very good at it. All right. His name's Mark Hope. If you ever need help with your finances, things like that, he's a great guy to talk to. He has helped a lot of people, a lot of people. So, Mark Hope, great guy, really good guy. All right. So, welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Here, please say hello, whether you're watching live or the rewatch. All right. And Michelle, I saw that earlier. You said rewatch. So thanks for that. Thanks for that. My two committed followers. Actually three if you count Isaac. But I think Amber's just picking Isaac up. So because this is my after therapy live. I usually go live after therapy because I'm in a pretty good mood, and I want to spread that. I don't like being selfish with my good mood. I like to spread that around a little bit. Right? Because it's more fun when there's more than one of you. Right? Now, I'm pretty good at keeping myself entertained. I've had to do that all my life. I'm a Gen Xer, man. Right? And yes, it's true. It's true. Our parents did not check up on us. No. Mm-mm. Ride to school. A ride to school. My parents were already gone by the time we had to get on the bus to go to school or any of that. They were gone. They weren't there. They were at work. Right. So yeah, I know, and yeah, it's not quite the same, but they're like, oh, you could have had one job and gotten yourself a 3 bedroom. Nuh-uh. No, my dad worked 2 jobs. The man that raised me, he worked 2 jobs, and my mother worked. So it's just not quite true. Although it is worse. I would anyway, wants and needs, right? And again, this is not a needs versus wants, although I'm sure ChatGPT took it that way. I am pretty sure that it took it that way because things just follow along, right? So now, did I need alcohol? And most people are just going to say, no, I don't know. Now, here's the thing. I like who I am today. I like this Dion. In fact, I would be so bold to say is I love this Dion. This is the Dion that I like. It's taken me years to get back to the person that I actually am. Okay? Without my alcoholism, without the drinking, without those adventures, good, bad, or indifferent, I wouldn't be who I am today. Without my alcoholism, okay, I'm grateful. I'm not just a grateful alcoholic, but I am grateful to be an alcoholic. And I know that may sound weird. So let me explain it. I can't think of any other reason I would have sought for God. And as you probably figured out by now, I'm big on God, man. Yeah. Verging religious. You call me religious now. I don't care if people think I'm religious. Just don't make a comparison. That's what ticks me out. Well, I'm this and you're that. Quit doing it. Don't do that. It's gross. It's gross, man. It's disgusting. Right? Did I need alcohol? Yes, I did. Especially at the end there. Because if I didn't put alcohol in my system towards the end of my drinking, it would have killed me. The detoxing from it would have killed me. So the answer is yes, I did need alcohol. At this point, did I want it? Not really. But in the beginning, I did. I did want it. Right. So did I need alcohol? That would be the only answer really as to yes. Otherwise, no. Right. But needs and wants are different depending on where you are at in life. Right. Remember, I don't know about you, but I didn't pray correctly when I was drinking. Right. The only time I prayed is when I wanted God to get me out of jail. And guess what? He didn't do it. No, I sat there and I had to take the consequence that was given to me. Right. I prayed only for me. And it was very selfish. And it wasn't even prayer, it was demands. I didn't ask for help. I was demanding that God get me out of there. Mm. Did I need to get out of there? I felt that I did, but guess what? I survived it. I made it through. I ended up doing my 6 months, right? In fact, actually, it was closer to 4 months because I was in work release, so I got day for day. That means for every day you're there, they give you it's 2, so your time goes by twice as fast, right? So I was in work release for 3 months. Before that, I was in jail for a month, right? And I remember the first day I went back to work, right? And I get on the bus, and everybody seems to get up at the same time. They all got on the same bus and things like that. So it was wow, right? And this guy, he's sitting next to me, and he goes, he says, you know, you can get away with drinking and smoking pot. If you want, I'll show you how. I looked him dead in the eye and I said, don't ever fucking talk to me again. And I said it loud. This is probably where the Podfather thing started. I said, don't you ever fucking talk to me again. And he didn't. That guy never talked to me again. All right. Now I got through that without drinking, using any drugs, because I don't want more jail time. No. And I'm too sloppy. You'll know if I've been drinking. All right. So I made it through. I got through it. Now, usually they let you out at midnight. And they let you out at midnight because what happens is if they let you out at midnight, they can replace your bed and then they get paid for that. They get paid for that same bed twice. That's why they do that. Okay. 11:59, you're out of there. All right. Well, I got there and we call it the darkest hour because you got to wait. You got to wait and wait and wait and wait. And it's the longest freaking 4 or 5 hours of your life while they're sitting there doing a background check on everything that you have ever done. And if you have anything that is wrong, you ain't leaving. And that creates paranoia. I thought they were going to hold me because I hadn't paid my taxes in a long time. Right. But I go in and they said, Miller, pack your stuff. You're out of here. This was 5 o'clock. It was like 5 o'clock. Right. I'm like, what? I'm out of here. And this was a deputy that loved to mess with people. Right. He did. He was always trying to fuck with us. Right. He was the joker. That was his job. That's what he did. And I said, Dep, don't fuck with me. Not today. He's like, okay. And I go in to sign the paper, and the deputy you could trust, she said, he's not joking. Go get your stuff. Now, what did that mean? It means I was the Boy Scout. I was the Boy Scout. Okay, and they let me out early. I got out, and I would start walking through Golden Park. And everything caught up to me. And I threw up for 10 minutes. Maybe not that long, but it seemed that long. The same place, the same park that I used to do AA softball in. That's all I knew about that park, was being involved in AA. Now I'm walking through it, getting out of jail. God, what a different scenario. And you want to know where I headed? First, I went to the gas station and got myself a large soda that I only filled about 3/4 of the way up. I went across the street and bought a pint of Beam, and that pint was gone before I made it to downtown Denver. I was already fucking toasted by the time I met my friend Nick. That's my story. It has nothing to do with needs and wants, but it's a fun story. So actually, it wasn't that fun at all. Right. Right. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I had never actually now I'm going to go into a whole another story if I do that. So wants and needs in the beginning, right? What did my addiction call a need? A drink. I need relief. I need to feel better now. I need them to understand me. And what happened is my addiction started to exaggerate my wants and ignore my needs. What did I want? Well, I wanted to drink. What did I need to do? Well, I needed to drink a glass of water. I needed to eat. I hardly ever ate. Eating interfered with my drinking. Are you kidding? What's wrong with you? All right. Now, the reason this topic is coming up is because Dion he's making some switches here. For the last 4 or 5 years, what I've been doing is I've been trying to figure out what the needs are in my community, and I'm trying to present those. I'm trying to make those. And that's the part that I'm stopping, and I'm moving into doing what Dion wants to do now. I've done my share. I've done what I needed to do. Okay. Now, could I have gotten away with this before? Maybe not, because my wants maybe weren't what I really needed to do. All right. So what did I actually need in the beginning? Well, I needed sobriety. I needed honesty, structure, accountability, humility, growth, community, and spiritual growth. Right. So in the beginning, most of my needs were pretty uncomfortable. But in the beginning, what did I really need to do? I needed to work on my spiritual malady. I needed to work on that. That's what I did. And when I worked on my spiritual malady, everything else just kind of fell into place. So what we often need challenges us. What we want usually comforts us. Now, this isn't always true. It will not always be that way. Okay? Because my wants are different now. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still some things that I want that maybe are out, Okay. In 3 days, the new Resident Evil is coming out, and I want the game, but I need $80. Yeah, ain't happening. I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait. I don't have $80 right now. Okay. Why is this fucking expensive, man? Ugh. Ugh, I say. Ugh. All right. So that's a want and a need. Now, do I need it? Not really. I got plenty. I play games to decompress. All right. And I really like this. I like the stories. The other thing is this. Since I have ADHD, I can play a game and then 6 months later play it again. And I'll remember bits and pieces, but I won't remember like the plot twists and stuff. So I'm lucky that way. I take advantage of my forgetfulness. All right. So in the beginning, I really needed to focus on my needs, not necessarily what I wanted, because what I wanted was still, it still led to bad behavior. Right. These were old habits. They were bad habits that I was working on getting rid of. Now that I've gotten rid of those bad habits, my wants are not the same. I don't want to drink. That's not one of my wants. I don't want destruction. I don't want to burn my neighborhood down because I did at one point. Yeah. Oh man, watch it burn. No, not anymore. So recovery is that delayed reward, right? And why do we tend to get these confused. And most of it is an impulse. Yeah. Your a lot of your life is based off of impulse. Right? You ever go to the grocery store? Yeah. You you think that notice that the stuff in the lanes is not very expensive. Gum, candy bars. These are not things that we need. They're always things that we want. And they're impulse buying. And it happens to you all the time. I do it too. It's like, oh, a Twix sounds good. Now, do I really need it? No, I wanted it. Right. What it really comes down to with wants and needs is what is my intention? What am I trying to do? What am I trying to get out of it? Am I trying to get anything out of it? Right. Because one of my biggest wants now is to help as many people as I can. It's what I want to do. Where before I wanted to drink. Right. So what else? What else? How else do we confuse them? Ego. Having that instant gratification mindset. I need it now. I need it now. I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. I need my alcohol now. Is it 5 yet? Is it 5 yet? Is it 5 yet? It's 5 somewhere. All right. What else? Ego, fear. So we got used to that really, really fast relief. And it mentions it in the big book. We are restless, irritable, and discontented until we can once again find the ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks. That's a spiritual lifestyle. That's what they're talking about. Do I get the instant relief like I did with alcohol? Well, it took me time to go to the liquor store. It took time for me to consume it. It took time for it to take effect. So the answer is yes, quite often. Look what happened with my cousin, right? Like last night, and my wife was pissed. Okay. And my wife doesn't get, you know how it is. You can pick on me, but you pick on my friends or my wife. Yeah, now we got a problem, right? Well, I didn't take it personally. Was it distracting? Was it not necessary? Yes. So what was the impulse? The impulse was just block, right? But then I made the decision that it wasn't going to ruin my night. I'm flat made that decision that I wanted time to think on it. This is what we're talking about. This is the difference between, because what I wanted to do was rip them a new one for accusing me. That was my reaction. But what needed to happen was offering of help instead. So I put my wants aside for the needs of somebody else. And that's okay. Okay. Because it's not like actually, it did take something from me, my anger, and that's okay. Okay. Now it says here needs build a future, wants demand now. Not necessarily. Your wants are not bad. Well, I want to spend more time with my kids. I want to take more pictures. I want to see more beautiful things in the world. I want to travel. These are all great, legitimate things. Absolutely. Let's say you want to travel. Well, think of all the different types of AA meetings you could go to and stuff, and the different things that you could hear, and the different people that you might be able to see. Maybe you'll find somebody on the airplane who is traveling to treatment at the time. You see, when your intentions go like that, what happens is those people will end up in your life. So when it came to my cousin happening that, okay, what was it really about? It was God saying, Dion, can you try and help my children? That is what happened. That's the way I took it anyway. And what does that allow me to do? It allows me to take a look at it with kindliness and tolerance and love and patience. Right? Then since I'm okay, then I get to be a better example for the people around me. Hey, Dion just doesn't handle himself like he used to. He does things differently. Do you see how he did that? He's not even in a bad mood. Wow, he's still in good. Yes. So the cost of choosing our wants. Now, when our wants are selfish, right? Like for materialistic things. I'm so glad I'm not materialistic. I'd be so sad all the time that I wasn't getting what I wanted. I'm already sad enough. Just like that'd be a whole story, right? So what happens when we just go after our wants, and they're selfish? Finances suffer, relationships suffers, your peace, your sobriety, right? It keeps wanting to go into this getting pleasure now or later. This is not a wants versus needs. This is wants and needs. Not just, this isn't a versus because both of these are legitimate. Just checking something here real quick. Okay. Because both of these are legitimate. Again, it's my intentions. Am I going to create more confusion than harmony is a great question to ask. What am I really getting out of this? Right? But so want feels good now, need feel good later. Yeah. Now, whether it's a want or a need, pausing is going to need to be in there for Dion anyway, because I'm kind of a reactive person, right? So, with the example we're using, what was the reaction? The reaction was to block for my peace of mind. At that point, it was done and over with. But that isn't what really needed to happen, right? Now, let me ask you this. Let's reverse this. Let's smack it down, flip it, and reverse it. I don't even know what song that's from. Okay. Would you rather let's say somebody tells you, I need you in my life. Okay. Isn't that a little scary? Well, what happens if I'm not in your life? What's going to happen to you if I'm not in your life? Now let's take it a different way. I want you in my life. Uh-huh. See, now the want's better than the need, isn't it? Right? I want sobriety. I want to live a spiritual life. I want to be there for my kids. These are good wants, right? Yeah. In the beginning of my sobriety, when it came to my wants, and it was usually my sponsor that would tell me, the answer was no. It was just flat out no. All right. After a little while, it became not yet. Now, I almost always get what I want. Right. I wanted a Honda that was a stick, and I got it. Yeah. Now, that was my preference, but I mostly use that car for helping other people out. Most of my material things that are a little bit more expensive, like this computer and this microphone and everything on this desk, I use to help other people out because that's what I want. I want to leave this world a better place. So see how our wants are just as legitimate as the needs. Yeah. So wants aren't a bad thing. Okay. So what is this what I need? It's a great question. Or you could even ask yourself, is this what I really want? All right. My therapist brings that up to me. Deanna, is that what you really want? Like, maybe I'm bitching to her about, well, a lot of people don't, I wish I had more followers. Let's use that one. All right. This was years ago when I talked to her about it. Yeah, I want more followers and stuff. And she's like, Dion, how would you feel if you all of a sudden had like 500 people show up to your daily trudge? And I said, well, that feels pretty overwhelming. She's like, so is it what you really want? And I said, no, it's not. Right? Is it what I really want? Is this what I really need? Both of these are legitimate questions. All right? Is this a want or a need? Will this move me forward or backward? Is this an impulse or a principle? That's a great one to ask. Is this just an impulse or am I doing it because there's a principle behind it? Great question. Good job, Chat GPT. Right? So what are we looking for when we pause? Well, we're looking for clarity. Yeah. Maybe you need to talk to somebody else about it first. Get some direction. It's all right. It's all right. And it's okay to want things too. If it's going to make the world a better place, then maybe the world needs it more than we actually want it. Yeah. Now, what happens when we are in the we are in, we've gotten sober, we've done the work, things are starting, and all this freedom starts to pop up. And now, okay, now you're in a position where knowledge is power again, right? And you have the freedom of choosing what you need. Before it was the alcohol and the drugs or whatever your addiction was that was controlling your needs and wants. Well, that's no longer in the picture. You're a new person, right? So now you have the freedom in choosing your needs. Isn't that cool? And that's when you're going to feel more stability. Your confidence is going to grow. Self-respect returns. And you're going to find some peace of mind, and more freedom. There's always more freedom. As you go through the years, you're going to figure out just how much you have been blocking yourself from the sunlight of the spirit. All right. So needs produce security. Yeah. It says here, wants produce instability. That is not necessarily true. With the correct intent, because even my intentions with my needs can be different. Oh, I need you in my life. Well, that sounds pretty like I'm relying on that person for everything. And so I probably have some emotional sobriety to work on. Yeah. Right. Now, do I need my wife in my life? In a sense, I do. But more than anything, I want her in my life. Wouldn't you much rather be wanted than needed? So see, it's not a bad thing. So it says here maturity is choosing needs over wants. I'm going to change that. Maturity is understanding to do the right thing, whether it's needs or wants. Maturity is checking my intentions, looking for direction, right? So recovery isn't about denying joy. Yeah, you know, and because sure we're alcoholic, but we're more than that too. We're artists, we're photographers, we're puppet makers, we're a lot of things. And it's okay to want those things. We didn't get sober so we could have a stale, boring life. No, that was me drinking. I isolated. I didn't do anything. Right. So it starts to align my desires. Right. When my primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety, that is that is not what I need. I want it. I want to do that now. I get to do these things. Right? And then, of course, living intentionally. I would agree with this. The longer we stay sober, the more our wants change. I would absolutely agree with that. When you start wanting what is best for other people, then you don't get jealous over somebody might get something before you got it and you feel like you deserve it. All right. So as we wrap this up, addiction blurred the line, recovery restored it, and my growth required discipline. That's pretty much what we've been talking about. So freedom isn't getting what we want, it's learning what we truly need or want. So I'm going to change that one a little bit too, because I want absolutely. So freedom isn't getting what we want, it's having a good attitude when we don't get it. There you go. That's a little bit better. All right. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Looks like we had a few people here. Good to see you. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on trudging.